Welcome to The Critical Path, Project Management and Leadership in Complex Environments, the podcast where we explore how leadership and project management come together to deliver complex projects when failure simply isn't an option. I'm your host, Alcaide. It's a real honor to be here. This is the very first episode, and we are diving straight into one of the most misunderstood and yet most defining elements of project management: risk management when failure simply isn't an option. In everyday projects, risk might mean a missed milestone or going a little over budget. But in complex, high reliability environments like aerospace, defense, nuclear, healthcare, space, you call it, risk management is about something far deeper. It's about how you make decisions when the cost of failure is unthinkable. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll revise the basics. Then we'll unpack what risk really means in critical systems, how traditional tools often fall short, and how leadership culture can either expose risk early or hide it until it's too late. Let's get into it. The basics. By the Association for Project Management, risk is defined as the potential of an action or event to impact on the achievement of objectives. If the effect is negative, we call it a threat. If the effect is positive, we call it opportunity. A risk event is defined as an uncertain event or set of circumstances that would, if it occurred, have an effect on the achievement of one or more objectives. How you feel so far? Good? What do you think about risk management? Risk management is defined as a process that allows individual risk event and overall risk to be understood and managed proactively, optimizing success by minimizing threats and maximizing opportunities. So, risk management plan is defined as a document defining how risk management is to be implemented in the context of the particular project concerned. Risk management process is composed of the following three phases. Initiation. You start with the risk management plan by making sure it is understood and endorsed by all the project stakeholders. Identification of risks. Risk can be identified in non-dedicated discussions or in dedicated sessions like risk workshops, brainstorming sessions, or risk reviews. Assessment of risks. Here we assess risk events to gain an understanding of their individual significance and their combined impact on objectives. Qualitative assessments, like probability and impact assessment, is a very popular way to get this done. There's others like the failure mode and effect analysis, the FMEA. Quantitative assessment, decision trees, the PERT analysis. I'm going to jump now, basically to clarify the risk. Why do we do risk management? Obviously, risk management comes with some benefits for the project, for the organization, and I want to list them. Yes? Serious threats can be predicted before they happened. Contingency plans can be created in advance. The process creates clearly defined ownership for risks to ensure they are monitored. It helps a no surprises environment. Well, that's the basics. And I think everyone understand those. But now we are going to get into more details. Let's redefine risk in a critical environment. First, let's redefine what we actually mean by risk. In critical programs, risk isn't just a line in a register. It's a living, breathing part of the system. We talk a lot about likelihood and impact, but when failure can cause loss of life, mission failure, or national consequences, impact dominates. Yeah, I want to remark that, yes, impact dominates. A 1 in 1,000 event may still demand enormous mitigation because the outcome is catastrophic. So the question becomes, what level of uncertainty can we truly live with? And that is a very good question, isn't it? This is where risk appetite matters. Risk appetite is defined as the tendency of an individual or group to take a risk in a given situation. In critical systems, it must be explicit, quantified, and owned, not assumed. That clearly allows team to act with decision, instead of either over engineering or ignoring the unknowns. Real maturity isn't about avoiding risk. It's about understanding which risks are acceptable and which ones can't be tolerated. The mechanics beyond the register. Now, let's talk about the mechanics. Yes? Too many organizations treat risk management as documentation, updating a register once a month. But in reality, risk is managed in the room during design reviews, task planning, supplier meetings. Tools like FMEAs, fault tree analysis, and hazard logs are not bureaucratic paperwork. They are communication tools. Share maps of how systems can fail and how failures can cascade. Effective teams integrate risk into every decision gate. They treat assurance evidence, test data, design validation, independent review as the currency of confidence. In these projects, the best managers act almost like systems engineers. They visualize dependencies, interfaces, and failure paths, not just budgets and timelines. When you see risk management as part of system design rather than governance overhead, the quality of decisions changes dramatically. Okay, I hope is clear, so far. But now I would like to jump into leadership and culture. Yeah, and then there is leadership, and for me, that's the real differentiator. You can have the best process in the world, but if people are afraid to raise a concern, it's worthless. In high-stakes environment, psychological safety isn't a soft concept. It's a control mechanism. I really love that concept of psychological safety. And just thinking aloud now, I would like to make one episode on just this topic, because it is really interesting. When engineers feel safe to say, I'm not convinced this will work, you've just prevented a potential failure. Leadership must model that behavior. Ask questions, invite challenge, and respond with curiosity, not punishment. Equally important, make the organization's risk appetite visible. If leadership never articulate what uncertainty is acceptable, teams either take reckless shortcuts or hide behind excessive caution. The best leaders I've seen reward early warning. They celebrate the person who spots the issue before it becomes a crisis. That's what separates reactive organization from resilient ones. Okay, now let's wrap up and reflect about what we just said. Yeah. First, risk management is not paperwork. It's culture, conversation, and awareness. Second, transparency beats perfection. Admitting uncertainty early is far safer than pretending it's under control. And third, leadership defines the tone. If you want proactive risk management, you must build an environment where people are not punished for telling the truth. As you return to your own projects, ask yourself, do we really know our top 5 risks? And are they visible at the right level? Are we rewarding those who surface issues early? And remember, let's do our actions. Yeah, not just our documents. Reflect our stated risk appetite. Thank you for listening The Critical Path. In our next episode, we'll explore how governance can either enable innovation or quietly kill it. Thanks for listening to The Critical Path, project management and leadership in complex environments. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow or rate the the show on Spotify and share it with colleagues who work where reliability matters most. See you on the next episode of The Critical Path.